We welcome an old friend to make a big announcement on this week's episode of the Indie Ball Report podcast. We are back on episode number 357 of the Indie Ball Report podcast, a show that is powered by innovation, and that's a copyrighted phrase. Isn't that interesting? Let's find out if Intel hears about this. Anywho, we have a guest to bring on the program today. It's going to be a fun one, and that's all we have because me and Ryan didn't record anything else because we did a bad thing, which is called we talked to our guests for way too long in the pre-show and the post-show. And when we intended to wrap up around 10:30, we really wrapped up around quarter after midnight. So, oopsies, don't have news for you. But it really was only some Long Beach name announcements and some news around Modesto. So nothing too major. We will discuss it on the show next week on 358. And I'll give my thoughts on the YouTube channel because I've been meaning to make videos again. So keep an eye out for that. But more importantly, on this main continuity episode, we bring to you a guest we've talked to in the past, a guy that we really do enjoy having on and really enjoy talking to, and that would be Matt Shepardson of the Frontier League, Deputy Commissioner of the Frontier League. And it's a really fun time here. At points, there's a little bit of some smash cuts, and they edit there. That's more or less because we were just kind of goofing off and having a really fun time talking to him, and we have a good rhythm and everything. And you guys will be able to tell from what remains of roughly an hour 45 of recording. I believe we got hammered down to about 55 minutes. So as you can tell, we were going off the rails a little bit. But instead of telling you about it, I'll let you guys hear it for yourselves. Here is our interview with Matt Shepardson of the Frontier League. We return this week with another interview in the long-running interview series, and we go back to the well of great guests, our favorite deputy commissioner in all of Independent League Baseball, Matt Shepardson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I would just like to say welcome to the Indie Ball Report with Shep, where we don't actually necessarily listen to a whole episode, but we give our comments about the Indie Ball Report, thus the Indie Ball Report. So I'm glad to be here for that. Thanks for having me, Nick and Ryan.
Yep. Let me just say, I appreciate that. I appreciate you don't listen to the whole thing because that matches the amount of effort that we put into this. And so that's what we deserve coming back. I appreciate that.
Well, I was going to call this a pod napping, but I didn't want to confuse people who nap during podcasts. But it is a hostile takeover. I'm hostilely taking over.
We rely on them. We rely on them for numbers. That's how we get binge listeners because they'll just sleep right from one to the other.
There's a reason why we go from 50 downloads a day to just one random day of 750 and then back down to 50. So
I would just like to pick. We'll get into the serious stuff in a minute, but let me just pick a nit if I may.
Great.
Killing vibes. Speaking of killing vibes, the first question: why don't you have Shep on more? Now, come on, killing vibes is not exactly I think fair. Specifically because this is actually the first regular show of yours I have appeared on.
It was bonus episode. That is right.
Is that true?
That is true. It was bonus.
Now, Ryan, you and I have recorded. You just never posted.
That is track.
Yep.
And so
posting is not what Indie Ball Nation does.
Listen, I've got
consistency is not what he does.
I probably am the most prolific recorder of podcasts that you can't listen to anywhere. So I do appreciate that. But I just want to point out, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here for the first time.
Many such cases.
That said, with all that out of the way,
vibe killing is a historic thing for Indie Ball. Just look at Rocky Mountain; they're dead now too.
I can't. Wow.
So sad.
I have no comments over that, Mike. If Commissioner Shapiro's listening, I have no comment on that. That was not me.
To the main thing here, which is, I think what's killing me is I was about to bring up not posting very often, because I was going to say, I believe Indie Ball Nation did kind of carve out the Indie Ball report niche, because every single one of my episodes I does actually see the light of day. I go, we actually just talked about this on the episode of Indie Ball Report. You can go back and find that. So you already get a summary before you start. So I think that's kind of been my thing.
Oh, no.
As I appear once every few months.
But Ryan, let me be clear. I'm going to comment about you guys without actually knowing completely what I'm talking about, which will make a meta commentary on the whole thing.
Okay, understood.
Yeah. See, if I was a broadcaster, I'd be concerned that something was happening to me right now. But luckily I'm not, so I know I'm okay.
Also, I am hoping that we get Sassy Ryan tonight. That's a callback to the last show, and I'm hoping that we do get Sassy Ryan, which I'm
trying to behave.
Me too.
But then Long Beach, it doesn't matter. Yeah. We're not going to drag you. I'm not going to make you do the Long Beach conversation. I will keep you on your task in your league.
What a cool color scheme.
Yeah,
love that color scheme.
Because I've done this before. Because Nick, you'll recall the Spire City Ghost Hounds had their brand come out, and I went, "Wow, what a color scheme!" And I think it was Nick who was like, "It is your color scheme, my friend. That is the Indie Ball Nation color scheme. It's teal." Yeah, and so there were some vibes of that, though. The cream color in there. I'm sure Nick will discuss actually on where we can speak freely without bringing in somebody from another league. To the conversation, but
it's not like the hat logo, like the country club logo or nothing.
I love the color. Big fan. Good luck to him.
You don't really see it that much. Yeah.
Other notes. Nick.
Yes.
I was figuring you could. I was hoping you'd have an idea of how to lead this in, because if I'm honest, if you want to know something I'm terrible at. Oddly enough, I know I'm not bad at acting when forced to act, but I'm not good at doing the natural lead into a conversation that we're pretending we didn't already have for the podcast. I suck at that part, which is what brings Shep here today. So you can figure out how you want to lead into that. We're just going to try.
We were going to talk about possible expansion. We were going to talk about the tryout camp, and we were going to talk about any questions you had off the FAQ AMA that I might be able to shed light on.
Did I get that agenda? What is happening? Okay.
No. I told you I'm taking over.
I'm glad you're prepared.
Hostile takeover, right? So you guys are having a tryout camp. Is there any way you plan on promoting in particular?
Yeah, it was what I could have done this.
But you didn't. So one of us doesn't have shame. The other one apparently does.
Well, I'm so glad to be with you guys today, and glad to be able to talk about so many things that we've discussed, including our tryout camp and draft in Avon, Ohio, coming up April 20th and 21st. And I have heard a rumor.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I believe, just a rumor that the both of you may be making an appearance and throwing your names in the draft bucket, as it were.
It is certainly possible. I mean, if we were to be invited there, I would certainly relish the opportunity to throw a baseball 15 feet over a catcher's head.
Okay, let's set some ground rules. I'm not letting you anywhere near a pitching mound.
That's fair.
All right.
I want to throw in my arm.
I don't want to break you, but you both are welcome. Love to have you out there. And one of the things I think it would be great for both of you is really to see the level of the top end guys who are coming out to this camp, and to see it's not your local men's league assignment draft, right? It is guys who performed at the highest level. You're going to have guys who were in affiliated programs for 4 or 5 years. You're going to have, D1 folks. You're going to have international players looking to get in, and then you will have the odd 30 something who's looking to see if they've still got 92 in the tank, and we love giving that opportunity. 70, 71, I don't know.
55, who's to say?
Once everyone else's velo went this way and mine went, I learned how to throw a knuckleball really fast.
He's basically Tim Wakefield. I've seen it.
I will say, when you're that age, no one else knows what to do with a knuckleball coming their way. I didn't really need to know where it was going to go. Not my problem. Once out of my hand, okay. I'm just ducking.
The urge to take that a certain.
So you're not letting me on the mound, is what I'm getting.
We can.
After that, promising scouting report.
Probably not, but we can talk about it. I've heard you're looking for batting cages to work on your swing.
I don't know if it's in my head. Maybe I was in a weird area growing up where there were multiple batting cages. I was like, just find a local batting. There is not a batting cage within 20 miles of my house, and other than training facilities. But I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to waste somebody's time training me. Let's be honest.
Well,
I just agree with that. I think you should waste somebody's time training you.
I'm wasting my own, Nick. What are you talking about?
Well, whatever you do, I hope there is video, and I hope that we can document the road to the tryout camp. I feel bad. I don't have my sound effects board with me today. I couldn't get it running, because now would be the perfect time. I would throw in the Chariots of Fire theme song, and we could play that, and
then I could get a copyright strike, and we don't have a good time.
Beautiful. That's what we always wanted. Well, there's a few things that I'm thinking about, which is one, just how difficult it is to find a batting cage, and two, to find throwing partners. I've officially put that call out on Instagram. I try not to spoil what I'm doing. I don't think anybody's guessing that I'm showing up to this tryout, so I don't think I did, because everybody's like, he's not that foolish. I will say though, I realized when this started coming together that this past Saturday was 100 days till that tryout. So that gave me a good structure to work with. So I think I got the first content piece looking ready to go on Sunday this week. Which is crazy, because me starting a series is insane, because I can't start a series of one individual video. So we'll see how it goes. But we'll see just how I've gotten a little bit of help. I've gotten a couple people who are like, here's how I think you can go about this in a calendar format. Unfortunately, you did text me probably on the day that I realized I was in the worst shape of my life. So that also is not helping the effort here. So, because I'm going to need to work really hard to get presentable for this, and also cannot work hard, or else I will be putting my doctor's kids through college. The second one, rugby, put the first one through, and I don't really know that I need to continue to do that.
Well, our tryout camp, we start off, we have some in and out, infield, outfield, some reps at whichever position you're registered for. So if you're an outfielder, a couple of fly balls and throws in from different, you're playing off the ground, you're playing fly ball, you're playing grounder, going to first, going to third, going home. Infield, we line you up and you play your infield position. We go around the horn. So you get a shot there. Catchers, it's pop and showing what you can do behind the plate, handling multiple different arms, and then you get your swings, and it's a limited cage for you, but hitting off the machine, so you're not having to guess what's coming in off of multiple arms. But we give everybody a chance to show their skill. And then day two, if you get through to day two, we have inter squad modified game. So we'll rotate through pitchers, and each pitcher will see roughly four batters per up. And depending on how many pitchers, maybe two or three ups. Just depending, but
because that's okay. That's good to know. because one, always good to know the structure of this. My main concern was that I was going to become, actively, this is my whole concern, is that I'm going to become actively a negative for other players who are legitimately making an effort at this, because I don't want to be like, oh, great, one of the guys I'm facing is this guy, where either I get an easy punchy and I get no credit for it, or God forbid this idiot gets a hit or even makes contact, in which case I'm not only not going to get drafted, but I'm probably going to get launched out of a cannon.
Yeah. So if you're on the mound, you actually throw a pen session. We'll have bullpen village, and you throw day one. You're throwing to a catcher in front of the coaching staff scouts, and that in a controlled environment. So you don't need to worry about messing up a guy's swings or whatever in that case.
Okay, I'm just the goals are not embarrass myself and also not mess up somebody else's opportunity for this. So okay, well, I feel like I can avoid doing that.
I would also like to not get fired for this, so we will structure it in a way that everybody can get what we need out of it.
Excellent.
That's good.
It's got a drone with a follow feature on it, so I'm just going to hand you the thing and so I follow you around. It's going to be great.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We can.
I personally want to see. I think personally, if someone's able to hit the drone with a batted ball, that should give them a free buy right into the game, right into day 2.
That's true. Yeah.
But they got to be trying to do it. It can't just be like accidental hit. It has to be intentional hit.
So if the drone is following and it's out of play, is this like a cricket type thing where we're hitting backwards at the drone?
Think more like banana ball rules circa 2028.
People love to hear that. Circa 2028.
Yeah,
I don't. What?
It could take a couple of years.
I don't understand any of the words you just said, and so I will pretend you didn't say any of them.
Okay, so to the business side of this, and then we'll get to some other topics. So day one is basically showing kind of, for lack of a better term, almost without context, just closed environment, doing your thing. How many guys usually show up to this? And for my own curiosity, what are we usually looking like, when it comes to the talent on the mound? And well, I guess that's the easiest one to quantify. It's hard to be like, unless you give me exit velos off of the batters off the top of your head from last year's tryout. That'd be an insane thing.
No, I can actually do both. So we are at roughly I'd say average. So taking in the years that are 400 plus and the years that are a little down, probably 300 to 350.
Wow. Okay, that's a good number.
So, split between pitchers and position players. Last year,
or like, what's the skew on that ratio wise?
It really depends on the year. Nick. Okay. It really depends on the year on that. I think last year, right about 100 on the pitchers.
Okay.
So
pretty good.
Maybe 110.
Okay.
Our average coming back for day 2, our average velocity was 92.
Great.
On the guys who were brought back for day 2.
Yeah.
Fastball velocity.
Okay.
We did measure exit on the hitting as well. It was our first time working with TrackMan, so we had the full TrackMan measurement out there. That's a little tougher to I can tell you it was a pretty big swing in average on that one. The spray was a little bit bigger, but you're gonna see guys who hit a home run every one of their swings, and you're gonna see other people who are a little more contact, or others who it's been a little bit. But again, we like the machine for that first day of BP, right? So everybody's seeing the same thing. You're not worrying about a guy who's throwing 75 and another guy who's throwing 99, right?
Yeah, the level playing field for it.
Yeah, because you said I'm not going to be allowed to pitch, so yeah.
Day two, getting that. Day two. Now
different
I will tell
story,
you, day two, different story. Yeah, day two is pitching, right? So you're gonna see guys coming out and showing everything they've got, and you'll see a few knuckleballers, and you'll see the guys with the heavy veloing and some really good movement. And to see it in a competitive game situation is good for our coaches and scouts.
And how many, in a typical year, how many guys are getting drafted? Isn't it, if off the top of my head, it feels like it's in the 40 to 50 range?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, nice. Come on, Ryan. Let's go.
Ryan remembers how long that segment took last year.
Every team will take a minimum of 2.
Yeah, first 2 rounds. And
then last year the team that took the most was 8. They went 8 deep. We had a couple at 6. Yeah.
You just go until you decline to pick again. Then it skips over you and just
Yep.
The way they used to do the MLB draft back in the day.
The way they should still do it.
Going deep. Yeah. Which I'm not sure how Shep would feel about going back to a world where there's 100 rounds of the MLB draft before guys start filtering to indie ball.
Yeah, I kind of like where we are.
Yeah,
I kind of like where we are.
Nick, and do anything else either of you have on the tryout thing before we move on to other things? Because we actually just stumbled pseudo accidentally into something that I was looking to talk to you about here.
I'm going.
Yeah, let me just if I could just add.
Sure.
For whoever registers for that tryout camp, we try to keep it as absolutely affordable as possible. We need to cover our costs. There are real costs to it, but we've kept it within $10. I think we went up $10 in the last 4 years, kind of deal, right? Like we really do want to make it accessible. For those who do register, there'll be a link with a discounted hotel rate for the team hotel as well. So we help to keep lodging as affordable as possible as well. And that link will go out early February and we'll keep that open as long as we can until the room block fills up.
All right. Yeah. The only thing else I just wanted to ask about was is there a reason in particular why the Lake Erie Stadium is chosen as opposed to among the other places?
Yeah, we try. There are a couple things that we really need when hosting. The first thing is we're looking for an artificial turf stadium because of weather. Yeah. Right? It's April, and to be out there and pound that grass for 2 full days and then turn around and start camp 2 days later, we really need to be in a place where the infrastructure can handle that. Secondly, we look for the more central locations as much as possible, or central to transportation. So, we will probably move coastal, East Coast at some point, but we really do try to make it where our California players are able to get there easily by air. Major airport, not too far from the airport. We're trying to be at somewhere within 30 minutes of an airport. I was just on the Eventbrite site before we started recording, and it actually gives you walking directions to the Forefront Field as well. Yeah, the home of the Lake Erie Crushers. If you want to walk, but we do try to keep it. Yeah, we do try to keep it somewhere where it's within that airport accessibility realm.
Right. Or a simple 15-hour train ride from where I'm at. I did look it up. I was like, Cleveland's a city with an Amtrak station. Does not mean it's going to be efficient. This country has not figured out infrastructure yet.
So what you're saying is you want to hop on the old Cleveland steamer to this tryout.
No one said that.
That's what you kind of said.
I'm not going to say that.
You kind of said that. Also, Kyle Tucker's a Dodger now, for anyone that cares.
Track. I thought they were laying low on that.
Yeah.
Well, just about 2 weeks of people not complaining about how much they spend. Okay, so I'm trying to think if I have anything else other than that would just not give away to the complete horror that I'm dealing with here. Figuring out how to become presentable. Nick, do you have a strategy here? What are you doing? What's your prep look like? I have a 100-day plan. What are you doing? Am I overthinking this, Shep?
No. Let's be clear. You are not overthinking this.
Okay.
And it is smart for you to prepare yourself mentally and physically to come in, because let's be honest. That's you're going to be there attending with guys who do this every day of their lives.
Mm-hmm. And also watched by like baseball ops people and managers that I talk to, which would be really great to not have a certain image of me. Well, absolutely. Yeah. Having a bad time.
Now that I think about it, so we assign numbers to everybody. I think I'm going to put your names and podcasts on the back of your shirts instead of numbers.
I already have a shirt with the logo on it.
He's very proud of the shirts. It's nice.
Yeah, they're nice shirts. Got about 5 of them.
Okay. That's all good to know. Yeah. And I'll talk to you more because I'll probably be also trying to do content stuff while also trying out, because I won't have my hands full enough. So let's really
we're getting content on this. We are 100% getting content on this.
Great.
And if you don't post it, I guarantee you we will.
So I'm going to cards on the table. Me and while sometimes I need to like, and this is also, as you'll know, not worked for me in the past, to talk about content I'm working on to make myself feel at least somewhat accountable that I have to do it. But this one is I'm determined to like get the first video up and keep updating as like my accountability thing for like, you better be ready because people are going to be aware of this happening.
So this 4.5 videos posted.
Wrapping myself into this. We'll see. I mean, video 1 is going to end right about my first throwing day on Saturday. It's supposed to snow, so that's a good sign right off the bat. And I think I'm throwing to Jackie.
Amazing. So
we're good.
I'm looking catch, but
she can't throw. So it's going to be throwing like a few over, and then she's not walking to me. If you think she's walking to me, you're high. So it's going to be then me walking to go collect the balls and then coming back. And then that's how I'm going to do that throwing session. I think it's going really well, is what my takeaway is. Shocked by how expensive bats have gotten. I don't really want to deal with that, but I'm supposed to go to a cage next week, so I got to figure that one out too.
I don't have anything to offer you in the bat realm, other than maybe like a fungo bat. We could throw you.
I've got a broken.
I am missing the prop.
I got a broken bat behind me from MLB All-Star Ken Harvey. Keeping that in mind. So who knows? Tape that bad boy together and see if it's got some magic left.
Yeah.
There were some bleak Royal seasons for a while. Okay. I don't know. Nick, do you have anything else on this before? I could ask questions about this all day because I'm trying to convince myself this is going to go well.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say,
no, it's not going to go well, Ryan. Let's be clear. It's not going to go well. And I think
that's why you want content.
Setting expectations is the most important piece of this. Now, let me be more clear. It's not going to go well for you. It's going to go exceedingly well for me.
Happy when you're happy. Yeah. Aim to please. Hey, I'm living the dream. I was able to convince Jackie to change. We were thinking about going to Daytona this year for one of our trips. Nah, we're going to Cleveland, baby. So like everything's coming up Ryan and Jackie right now.
You're going to all hot spots this year, dude. Cleveland, Gary. Damn, man. Like you're living it.
Dude, I got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I have some opinions.
Do you Cavs game?
No, Detroit. Guardians are in town Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I got a Monday game too. So
excellent. Okay. Good see J-Ram.
Shep's like, you won't be alive to see a Monday night baseball game, dude.
From everything that I am taking, you will enjoy it from a bathtub on television. But
what does that mean?
Like an ice tub.
Okay.
It
that
means
makes
he's
more
going
sense.
to steal your organs and sell them on the black market. That's what that means. Do you not watch
jokes
the movies?
on you. I only got one kidney left. Someone stole
Jokes
the other
on
one.
you. He just needs one.
So that makes sense. This all tracks. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It is what it is. Nothing tracks actually, but I think we'll be fine. All I keep thinking is I have the Washington Wild Things Pat McAfee game in my head, where the big triumphant moment of that is him like grounding that ball, and I'm like, just make a little contact. Which, oddly enough, by the way, nothing changes because that was pretty much what I was hoping for when I was hitting back in the day anyway. So I was like, I'm the fastest person here. If I can get this ball in play, I'm rolling. And I mean, it didn't happen, but a boy can dream.
Well, I am surprised that nobody ever goes up at these things and shows their bunt games.
Lay one down. Oh, I was thinking about it already.
I know there's at least 2 managers that would be all about that. Minimum 2, probably more.
You got to step into the cage, drop a couple down like normal business, and then continue to drop bunts down and then leave the cage
with a bat flip.
Oh,
and then go over and be like,
and I would kill one manager off.
Did you get my exit velo?
Yeah. What did that look like?
What's the launch angle on that?
Now you do. Oh, I didn't mention that on your final swing, you run the bases.
Oh, that's not a concern for me.
So your final swing, you go to first, and then on the third or fourth swing of the succeeding batter, you go first to third.
I was only sticking around on teams because I could pinch run and steal bags at the end there. I was a defensive catcher. They put me in late in the game, and it was the totally normal way you'd get into a game, which is as a pinch runner and then stay in as a defensive catcher. The very normal way to end a baseball career.
Yeah, absolutely. You do think, when you think of moves you see often, especially in Major League Baseball, it's the pinch running catcher.
Yes,
absolutely.
Because when I think of speed, I think Ruben Castro, of course.
I mean, it should have been at that. I've always said my first scouting gig was looking at myself and going, "This isn't going to make it."
Ruby has some deceptive speed. There we go. Deceptive. I've seen some bases stolen there by one Ruby Castro, so he'll do it.
Be done. You got to pick your spots.
I just want to point out my whole training plan here was essentially to blow out some sort of ligament 2 weeks in and then show up in a cast going, "Sorry guys, I can't," but
Now that is just committing to the bit, Nick.
Yep.
See, that's what it's just. Do.
I expected you getting out there in the outfield, starting to throw a little bit, just getting loose, and then do a little just a little do the elbow wiggle, just the little elbow snap, and it'd be, I don't know, something off, and then crack a beer.
Right, but see, you have never played on enough bad teams to know, like, getting killed today. I ain't bothering getting dressed for this. Now I woke up, not gonna go. And you got to commit to it by not overselling it, looking like you really want to do it. You really want to make it happen, but it's just like you can't. Just the little signs throughout it. And then someone asks, you go, you know what? I think I'll stay off the side for now.
I am very glad we had this conversation because it reminds me to button up our waivers, our liability waivers. Yeah, and I will make sure I will probably have a special edition for the Indie Ball Report / Nation folks.
That's fair. I can't blame you for anything there.
Not to worry. We'll send you a bill in the mail for that consultation. We have good rates.
And you get a thank you card from my orthopedic surgeon. He's good. Actually, he's not. Anyway, I did have a couple other questions that aren't necessarily trout related, but I'm not going to fully transition from the trout conversation because I'm sure I'm going to think of something and panic ask it.
Right.
One of these things is the news stories, and it's been sort of a developing thing. I'm interested what your from where you sit with the league and your role. What do you make of the MLB sort of regulations on how tech and data is being used and now limited on the scouting side? Because as an indie league, I can't get a good gauge for whether indie leagues are concerned about that and if that impacts them, or is this more something that's affecting, the other realms of the baseball world, but doesn't really affect what you got going when it comes to getting guys noticed?
Yeah. So from a partner league standpoint, I think that it will probably need to be really sussed out as to what MLB means by centralizing data and, the delivery of that and the dissemination of that. Right. So, we all work with the same company, in terms of what's getting collected. Mm-hmm. And we work with the similar couple of companies in addition to what's done on each team level on the analyzation, the analysis and really the, what's the best way to put this? The translation into digestible, and understandable format from, if you've ever seen what an actual TrackMan data report for each pitch looks like, it means nothing to most people, right? That needs to be translated and put into some sort of either visual digest of what's going on or another form. So we use this similar stuff. Now, what MLB means, I couldn't really tell you, and I'm not sure it's completely known yet when they talk about taking over and managing that data for everybody.
Now,
yeah.
Now, this refined version of data, let's say someone that is, I don't know, afraid of numbers were to look at this. Would they be able to understand it?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Right? That's all you.
But when it comes to the visualization and really the report breakdown, absolutely. And that's the whole idea. It's being able to take that long string of numbers and, stuff that we who live in the numbers world understand without really a second thought, and putting it into, using the R programming language, for instance, and giving you a visualization of what a heat map looks like, as opposed to me going down and seeing the coordinates and understanding what the constraints are and kind of where somebody's living.
Okay.
Yeah, the best data people aren't necessarily the ones getting paid. It's the people who are the best at taking data and making it undigestible.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And really there are great resources on the MLB side, contracted companies who do this, but pretty much everybody also has their own department that's producing some sort of visual, digestible version. Mm-hmm. Just as an example, Tony Medina was in Schaumburg with the Boomers doing this. He's now a major league assistant with the White Sox. And will be joining them for this upcoming season. Tony had a great program that gave you that visual kind of, stats at a glance or analytics at a glance view of what's going on.
Damn, miss having Tony around. Okay, that was one because it was just, I think another article got dropped about like an hour ago about, of course, clarifying what they meant. It didn't clarify anything. Okay, on from that, I'm trying to think. Before I take over your podcast, Nick, did you have anything that you wanted to throw in here? I mean,
take over my podcast, Ryan. Today it's my podcast.
Sorry, comrade.
Well, if it was a comrade, it'd be our podcast. A.
Yeah, there you go.
B,
fair enough.
Before, as though it hasn't already occurred. And C, I am now getting a lot more sympathy for the Czar. I'm just going to say that.
Since I am at some point, to give you a glimpse into what I'm wrestling with currently, we're back to the tryout because we're going to go to my last question, which is unrelated to the tryout, but I'm going to justify it. So buckle up. My current issue has been defensive catcher was my best position. I got into pitching, and once the velo kind of disappeared, I had a really good knuckleball. So I was like, hey, hitting a baseball seems like a nightmare. maybe, just maybe, I can bring the knuckleball back. I pretty severely injured my hand playing rugby, and turns out my hand just does not do that anymore. Does not get to that grip. So I'm not relearning a knuckleball, I'll tell you that much. So that's off the table. I'm not buying gear for catching. So that's already done just from a financial perspective. So we are, I think, at corner outfield. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Corner outfield. So now that I'm going to at least get to prove myself in a corner outfield situation, who do I have to talk to in Florence, do you think, to be able to shag fly balls during the home run derby? Because that's going to be my next content move involving Frontier League shenanigans.
Probably me. And
nice.
And
can you set up
we're
an
not
appointment?
nice. You're hesitating. Hold on. Maybe not nice.
No, I'm thinking about all the different ways we can video that and take advantage. Now, remind me, who was it who hosted the home run derby last season? Oh yes, that was also me. So yes. I think that I could very gladly what's the word, heckle you while you did that.
That was where I was hoping that was going.
We can work that out. Yeah.
I don't think you would need to put together all of this just to heckle me. I think you would just call me up in the middle of the day.
I think you should make him wear something ridiculous if you're going to let him do it.
I think I can handle that on my own, actually. The prior All-Star game, the one, Nick, where we drove by your house. I took Andrew and had to drive by your house because you weren't able to go.
Oh, you mean the one where I was working for a living on like a certain unemployed bum?
Dream job.
We had a good time.
I bet you did.
There.
Did you go to that Walmart?
Me?
Yes.
Absolutely. I filmed content outside of the world's second largest Walmart.
Okay.
And
Walmart?
Has it seen the light of day?
It has no. And
it
Walmart did not appreciate us filming content.
I do not like that.
The world's second largest Walmart.
Very sensitive to that. That's it. I've really got nothing else other than I have, I always have something else, but that's not quality podcastable if any of this has been. So I'm going to kick this back to Nick and he makes some decisions.
This has been fantastically a fantastic train wreck in the most entertaining way possible.
Yeah.
If you're done, then I have like one or two things to throw out here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cool. So we're in an age of expansion, and 18 is kind of an awkward number. Is there any particular areas that you're looking at for 19 and 20, which I assume is the next logical progression?
Yeah. Well, Zlarnia, Zlarnia.
Oh, yeah. Big culture there. Big baseball market.
Big baseball market in Zlarnia. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the year-end question episode that was it the first one this year, the fourth? Yes.
Oh no, it was the one after that. Yes. Don't send people the wrong direction now.
Was that the fourth? Whatever. Yeah. No,
we expect high standards for the Indie Ball report.
I'm sorry. That was the Hallmark takeover.
Thank you.
And
another time the show got hijacked.
Zlarnia, Zlarnia.
Yeah.
There will be T-shirts. There will be T-shirts. But yeah, obviously,
we get a Zlarnian flag on our shirts. Right on the sleeve.
The Queen of Zlarnia, as you know, Nick, is Julie Andrews, who plays the queen in many of these movies. So
she's royalty.
Absolutely. Obviously, it's not a surprise. It's not news that we're very interested in and still in the process with Montreal. I believe Steve said a couple of years ago, Steve Tassler said it's our number one priority is a team there. There are multiple other markets that we're talking with right now that are within our current footprint and right around. And obviously, if you look at our map, we want to fill in the holes that exist. So we're working hard to identify the right municipal and operating partners for those. Yeah. And, there are things out of our control. We don't have control over what's going to happen with a city or county government or a state government. And so there's always a little bit of flux and we're trying to support our current teams while also making sure that we're setting the stage for the future for them.
Yeah. With Montreal, is it more of a venue issue than anything else, or?
Well, it will be a new stadium wherever we go in Montreal, in that area. We have had serious discussions with more than one potential site and partner group there. And again, it's important to us. I think there are probably some other Canadian markets that we've also had discussions with that make a lot of sense within our footprint. But again, you're relying on a lot of factors beyond just having the right group to run a team, particularly when it comes to new builds, getting those stadiums built out.
Yeah, I mean, the approval process and everything, then just the construction process alone is subjected to so many different factors that are out of anyone's control, really, that even then, too, when you're dealing with, if there's a slight setback in construction, you miss a date, then everything else goes into one, then you got to have backup plans for backup plans. So I definitely see that here. On the state side, I'd imagine those markets at least have an existing ballpark or some existing infrastructure that may make it a little bit easier.
I think, again, it would be safe to say that we would be looking at both existing markets and new builds.
Okay.
And we're obviously imbalanced right now in our conference setup. So two makes a lot of sense. So does 6, right?
Yeah.
So it's a matter, again, of finding the right partners, the right timing. Are we willing to go imbalanced if we know that, or we have plans to go? I think, we would be. Ultimately, it's about, for us, about making sure that we continue to move in a positive direction and provide stability for our teams. You guys talked a lot about that kind of the economics of the different partner league teams. And, Ryan mentioned some discussions that he had outside. I will tell you that people aren't trying to get into or purchase teams in partner leagues because it's not profitable or not sustainable. I think, our league as a whole and the vast majority of our teams are financially in a great place. There are, again, external issues sometimes or operating issues that need to be worked out, and we do our best to support and help grow through those. And part of that is making sure our footprint, our travel, our talent pool all lead to the best possible product we can have.
I don't know if I have a follow-up there. I think, Ryan, you were about to say something.
This was, I'm trying to find a way where you can answer this because I don't want to put you in a weird spot. I guess the most general way for me to ask it is, as the Frontier League has expanded in such a very, unique way where, it was a purely as the Can-Am, it was a purely, tucked up into the far Northeast, and then the Frontier had its own footprint, and then combining, and then the way it's now spread with the more recent expansion. Do you find that there is, I think there's a perception of a lot of competition almost to expand, as every league has talked about expanding. Do you find often that the targets for expansion are shared targets among leagues, or has it more been, it's a big country out there and it's not really overlapping in that way? Because we all think, everyone's competing for it, but is it really like that, or is it more just, you're not directly butting up against other leagues when it comes to wooing towns or what have you?
Yeah, it's a good question. It is not necessarily, there's not necessarily a straight answer for it. And, not to be lawyerly or overly a politician on it, but, we aren't focused on competing with the other leagues for markets. We are focused on being as strong as we can and putting our best foot forward in the places we think are best suited to join our league. Right. So we went through a process with a potential ownership group in a market last season that the government awarded elsewhere, to a different model of league. And that's something that, again, it's out of our control, but we feel like when we put forward what we do best and how we do it, that it's attractive, and the right partners, if we have the right operators and find those right situations, then it makes sense for everybody. So I wouldn't say that we are operating in a vacuum, because obviously we're not the only game in town, and there are different models, right? Let's be honest about it. There are shorter seasons with lower costs. There are longer seasons with higher costs. There's a benefit, and there's a cost that the localities need to weigh out, as well as the operators. But we feel really good about the product we continue to build, and the leadership that's been brought over the last 8 to 10 years, specifically when it comes to growth in our league. And we're proud of that, and we'll continue to evolve a bit, and we'll continue to find new spots that make sense. And again, it's something that is not this is not led by Steve or myself. It's really directors level, all the owners together of our league, making those decisions and deciding what fits and what doesn't.
Wasn't the lawyerly answer is probably the right answer. So they sometimes overlap. But okay. I think we've talked plenty on the pod, Nick and I, about how we're begging leagues to almost stop competing with each other and just do what works for them. So that's, but I was just curious, because again, we do hear, cards on the table, I've heard from multiple leagues, not the Frontier League, I'll also admit, from different people in different leagues. So like, hey, we're looking at this market, and it's the same market as the other league. They told me 3 days before. I'm like, okay, best of luck. So I never know, how, I guess it is almost it's the matchmaking game. Like if you're trying to, not to be way too nerdy about this, but if you're trying to trade in like a sports video game, and it has a list of what they need and a list of what you have, and you're trying to be like, okay, what can I bring to the table here that matches what this town is looking for or whatever. So, and then I got one more, and I'm not sure. Finally, I think I might be out of questions, at least for now, but you can make a decision if you want it on the record or off, but I'm curious either way. So since we're talking expansion, also, we've talked recently about the inter-county leagues becoming the Canadian Baseball League. Has that area of Canada been something? There's a lot of talk about Canadian expansion. Has that been
Southern Ontario? That's where that league's based out of. It's Southern Ontario.
Yeah. Okay. But we'll roll with it. But has that area of Ontario been something the Frontier League was looking at with this? Does them making that move complicate any plans, or is that not really something that's been within the Frontier League sort of scope when looking at expansion?
So the short answer is there are markets we would love to be in the same footprint. Mm-hmm. Now, whether we've had any real talks or not, I can't really say, in terms of fruitful talks with a specific group about a specific spot. But I think there are a lot of potential ownership groups, operating groups, development groups that are looking in that similar area. And I think, we've had a great relationship with Intercounty and now Canadian, the guys there. Again, we're not looking to Bigfoot anybody or to, knock anybody out of a market. But obviously, between we've got a hole in our footprint right now between our Midwest and Canadian teams. And, the right spot that makes sense, is something that would be really attractive, in general, without being specific on that.
Okay. I appreciate the detail you could give.
Another little tidbit before we go. We're bringing our umpire program in-house this year.
Okay.
So rather than contracting out, Kevin Furman is going to be our director of umpires, reigning 2-time umpire of the year in our league. And, former professional hostage negotiator and police officer Kevin Furman.
I should have called him to take control of my show.
And Kevin's going to be taking that for us. So that's a little more league side stuff this year as we try to continue to up our product, up our game.
Nice. Nice. But
nice. I like that. I mean, even just, I've always thought the path to good umpiring is just consistency across a league of, getting a plan in place. And even if there's not everyone's up to the standard right away, you can kind of, by having a one vision there, it sort of solidifies the whole effort as opposed to just random dudes from everywhere trying their best.
I think the last 2 years we made strides in terms of, having full-time crews and that sort of thing. Particularly once the NCAA season is over. But the big thing I think we were missing is that kind of the guy who's in all 18 ballparks and who's able to really help those guys develop beyond them developing on their own. And so we'll have old Can-Am favorite Tim McCaffrey on the East.
Yes.
Doing some evaluation and training. And yeah.
You want to plug anything, by the way, before we cut this?
Yeah. It's my chance to plug something.
Yeah, it's your stuff.
Make sure you catch the Indie Ball Report on all your
all platforms.
All your platforms. That's right. No. If you're interested, we'd love to have players who are looking at making that next step at our tryout camp, April 20th, 21st, Avon, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. You can find all the information at frontierleague.com and on our socials. And we look forward to seeing who comes out of that and has an impact in our league.
Looking forward to seeing all those smiling faces, like a teacher on the first day of school.
Yeah, that should be fun.
I bet it will be. Well, thanks for hopping on the show. I'm sure you'd rather be talking to us than sleeping or something like that,
Yeah, there's no sleep. I am very glad to be on the. Let me rephrase that. I am glad to finally be on the actual show, and
some would say it's better to get a bonus episode because you're the only thing there. You're really the star of it,
Yeah, no, I wanted I wanted a number. I wanted an episode number that I could point to. And
okay. So it's like a bet. You know what? Here's what I'm willing to do. When we see you this year or at the tryout, I will personally hand you a little plaque with your number on it.
It's beautiful.
It would be much better if it's like a used "Hello, my name is" name tag that you've crossed out the actual name on it and just scrawled in a number.
How about this? To pay homage to your time in Joliet, I will find a prison jumpsuit with that number.
Oh my word! I
now we're talking.
I could not turn that one down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fellas, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, and, we're happy to have you.
Glad to do it.
Once again, I just want to thank Shep for hopping on the program here. He's always fun to talk to, always gives a lot of good insight, and yeah, he provides so many opportunities for us, including this tryout deal, and we'll find out here if the guy that hasn't thrown a baseball or swung a bat in any sort of competitive manner in well over 15 years will injure himself during training or be able to go out and embarrass himself in Cleveland, Ohio in a couple of months. So, again, thanks for Shep for coming on the program. And, we will be in touch. So, that's all we got for you this week. It was a good time. It was a fun time. We have another interview supposedly lined up for next week, and we're working on getting the rest of them settled. Check out the YouTube channel, Indie Ball Report, to catch up on all the news. We'll have some short videos out for that. We'll go over all the news from this week and next week on next week's show. Indie Ball Report everywhere except for Twitter, which is at Indie Ball Pod. Indie Ball Nation everywhere for Ryan's content, and he's going to be starting a whole, as he mentioned in the interview, training series to get ready for this tryout camp, so you don't want to miss that. It'll be either funny, horrific, or a true exploration of the human experience. Either way, you don't want to miss it, so be sure to keep an eye out for that, and until next time, don't forget to play ball.
Listen, I will be at the prison game, and if two hot dogs and a cotton candy aren't a thing, they are missing a trick at the old Joliet prison. Two hots and a cot, folks.
You waited this deep into whatever this is to cut that promo? Because that you should have led with that, I want to tell you.